information before us
It's
sometimes.
04 Backbar. It's the breakfast show on Smooth 98.1.
Chronicles of Hollywood.
You and coffee.
The Smooth Breakfast presents the headlines, the stories, the news, in-depth analysis on national current affairs. Freshly pressed on Smooth 98.1.
Everyday news stories emerge, and today we have quite interesting stories to be sharing with you on Freshly Pressed this morning. You're listening to Smooth 98.1. Shokbe Martins.
And Victor Pepinel is in for the Herculean task of analyzing today's news. It's an interesting one, guys. Yes, they're prepared as much as they can be. And of course, that you've come to know Tuesdays for Justin and Wade. Good morning, and good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning, everyone.
Lagos.
Good morning, welcome. Now we're streaming live on YouTube. It's Smooth 981 FM Lagos. You can also send in your WhatsApp messages to 0809 444 0981 and send a tweet to us at Smooth 981 FM. Please use the hashtag Freshly Pressed 981. Let's get right into it from the newspaper this morning. Despite form denial, Jonathan Adamu prepares to run on APC ticket. Now, amidst an attempt by loyalists of former President Goodluck Jonathan to stop him from running on the All Progressives Congress ticket, the former president has formally met with the national chairman of the ruling party in Abuja, apparently to clarify some gray areas regarding his candidacy. Justin, there's been speculations, permutations about Jonathan defecting to the APC and perhaps contesting to be flag bearer of the party come 30th of May. Just yesterday night, he was at the residence of the APC chairman at about 9 p.m. for a 1 hour long meeting behind closed doors. And the news is all over right now. After some people, there are reports that some people bought the forms for him. Will we see him come out fully and say, oh, I'm now a member of the APC and I want to run on the platform of the APC for the next 4 years, 2023?
I think that we will see that. I mean, it's clear if there were no truth to the speculations, permutations, and conspiracy theories, as we refer to them, that has been flying around for quite a while, actually. If there were no news, if there were no truth to that, I don't know what he would have been discussing with the opposition party's chairperson, where he, as far as we know, has been a PDP person.
Since 1999.
Since 99, yeah. So it's that season in our life as a people, again, where we should just expect to see anything, where all things are possible. It evokes a lot of it evokes a lot of thoughts for me, because I don't know how pedestrian we as a people have become, or have been seen to be by the political class, where we're being force-fed a lot of rubbish, and we're just expected to go along with it. I'm curious to see how the people who said crucify him in APC are going to now sing his praises as, I mean, what are you going to campaign on? For a Jonathan who was vilified by the current ruling party APC, and he is now going there to run as a presidential flag bearer if they give him the ticket. That is, because, like I said, all things are possible. But yeah, right now
What then happens to the other 27 aspirants who have picked up forms on the platform of the APC?
At this point, it's safe to assume that we will probably have 36, because every state must have one candidate.
I don't understand why we're asking for they want to contest for presidency. They should go and contest. If you are allowed, you can go and pick up the form.
No, there were also reports of consensus candidates.
And so let the politicking begin. That's what it is all about.
Enough said. Okay, let's take a look at this article from the Punch newspaper. Presidential ambition. Court declines Emefiele's request to restrain INEC and AGF. I heard from Emefiele's lawyer, senior advocate of Nigeria, Mike Ozekome, who told the court that he can run for the post of the president without vacating his position as CBN governor, said that Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act does not affect him being a public servant and not a political appointee. But then we have this headline, Justin. Your thoughts?
More of the same. This is the one that really gets my goat because the in as much as we've seen desecration of a lot of public institutions, the CBN is one that we shouldn't toy with. I think Uncle Murphy should do the honorable thing and not burn the candle on both ends. That's the most selfish thing that you can do amongst a bunch of selfish people. Since he's decided to pitch his tent in the political space, step out of the CBN. If I mean, Section 9 of the CBN Act also states that the governor must not venture into any other vocation. Any other vocation means any other vocation. Politics is a vocation. So you can go to court and start nitpicking about whether there's a technicality that allows you to remain in office, but have some respect for the office, have some respect for Nigerians, have some respect for... Jeez, man. He needs to resign.
He might argue that he is having respect for Nigerians, for the office, for the country by actually throwing his hat into the ring.
I don't think there's any human being.
A position that could even more directly help Nigerians. I'm just saying that might be his train of thought here.
So his lawyer is Mr. Ozekome, SAN, right? I don't think even Mr. Ozekome can look him in the eye and tell him that it is okay for him, from a moral standpoint,
so that's speculation,
to remain. Yeah, it's speculation. It's my opinion. I do not think any reasonable human being will sit down with Governor Mayfields and say to him that what you're trying to do, it's okay, it's cool. Let's have shame.
Well, I can't say any more to that, but you can send your WhatsApp messages into 0809 440 981 and find us on Twitter and YouTube. On Twitter, we are at Smooth981FM, hashtag Freshly Pressed 981, and youtube.com/Smooth981FM Lagos. Leave your comments up on the live stream.
All right, we'll come to the messages in a moment, but let's take this one in from the Guardian newspaper. ASUU extends strike for another 3 months. And, after the initial warning strike expired on Sunday, 8th of May. So Professor Emmanuel Oshodeke, the ASUU president, disclosed that the union's decision will kick in, from today. Of course, he said the academic staff union will go ahead to extend the strike. Recall that this strike began on the 14th of February, 4 weeks warning strike, and then it went on to 14th of March, 8 weeks warning strike. And I've been wondering, warning strikes since 14th of February.
Well,
ASUU will ASUU every time.
But
at the end of the day, maybe what I should do is just put 3 and 4 together.
Well, I actually want to throw in this story from the Punch News as well, because it's on the same thing, right, regarding the ASUU strike. Students protest in Lagos and Benin vow to block National Assembly and airports. We already saw them on Monday in Edo State barricading the gate of Benin Airport. And the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has called on students across the country to occupy all federal roads for a minimum of 3 hours today. So,
it's amazing that Nance will make that kind of statement. And this is my opinion. You've been at home since almost 5 months now, Abi. Rather than tell these children or these students to go and block highways, send them to go and collect their voter's card. You have time on your hand.
I do not advocate for violence. I do not advocate for hooliganism. But protests and voter registration are not mutually exclusive.
And I agree. That is also a form of protest, because those
voters' cards are useless until election.
No, but at least you have time now to make sure
be at home.
To make sure that these things, like we continue to learn in the newspapers and in the news that registration is going well, cards are being made, voters, the number of voters have increased. every day. So I'm not sure if every one of them have registered. Yes, do the protest. I have no problem with the protest as long as it doesn't become violent and it's not taken over by, like, you know, usual things that happen in Nigeria. But use this time, to go and get your voters card. That, like I said, it's my opinion. Get your voters card. Go and register. Last elections, 60% of the voting population were below 40, and barely 15% of that population came out to vote. This is your opportunity to make the changes that you require, because you can't continue with ASUU. They've been on strike since the beginning of the year. We have the Minister of Education, the Minister of State for Education, and the Minister of Labor, who have picked up tickets for the primaries at the end of the month. Although Ngige says, oh, they will meet them today, but they've been meeting and there is no resolution.
Wade, in 2020, ASU went on strike for 9 months on this same 2009 agreement. In 2022, they've been on strike already for 12 weeks and extending by another 3 months. Should the students decide that, like they've already said, they want to go to the primaries in Abuja, Eagle Square, from the APC to PDP, that the primaries will not hold until they return to the classrooms. Also, they are going to block the roads leading to the airport to ground economic activities in the nation's capital. Are we going to see a result from this?
I don't think you will. I don't think you will.
Really?
Yeah.
So let's not discuss this without calling out the dramatis personae. Ngige,
Yes.
who is Minister of Labor, and the Minister of State for Education, what's his name again, have both in their statements in this article distanced themselves from ASUU by both respectively saying we are not the employers of these lecturers. The Minister of Labor is saying, yeah, this is a National Universities Commission thing, and Minister of Education,
saying he's an education.
and then the Minister of Education himself is saying, listen, we are not the employers of these people. It's the National Universities Commission that employs them and sends them to the federal government. So who's solving the problem?
By the way, Ike Peter has a question for you. He says, what guarantee do you even have that the next president will solve the ASU problem?
No, I don't. I don't. We don't have any guarantees that anybody will solve the problem, because this problem has been on since 2009. And to even correct Nigerians, this problem of ASU has been on for as long as I can remember, even before I went into a higher institution. But we cannot continue this way, because we continue to let the same set of crop of people go there without we exercising our civic rights, because we all say, oh, like the question now,
Why
who's
are you
going to solve it?
oversimplifying?
No, I am not oversimplifying.
Wow.
I am not.
Let me ask you, so if we look at politics and we look back at the history of politics and the politicians in our country, what has changed over the past 2 decades, is my first question to you,
Recycling
in terms
plants.
of the faces that you see. What has changed over
Nothing
the
has
past 2
changed.
decades?
It's the same.
So
Wait, just a
when
second.
we now go
No.
back to the voting,
What has the other thing that has not changed? Are you with me? Is the people exercising their rights. Since 1999, aside from the 1999 election and the 2011 election, we've not had up to 50% of the voting population go out and vote.
Might there be a reason why brigandry, thuggery,
See,
sponsored
there is no,
violence,
okay, so why do you,
there's nowhere in the world that you don't have all this.
let's try and get this
But we
back
can
on
make
track.
this change if we want to.
Let's try and get this back on track. So you've talked about maybe it's the voter apathy, right? So if there was no voter apathy and we see more huge numbers coming out to vote for the same faces that we keep seeing, what do you think would change?
Oh, because if you don't do it in the next 4 years, you are going to be voted out. So let's get some things right. The political system or the democratic system of governance means that people should exercise their rights. If you don't exercise your rights, and if few people exercise the rights for someone else, then you will get what you have.
All right, Wade, quickly, we seem to be a people that love strike, and it looks like our government only respond to strike actions.
And we're going to have another strike in the aviation industry.
Let's just throw that in from the Punch newspaper. Aviation workers begin 2-day warning strike. The workers of some agencies under the Ministry of Aviation have started a 2-day warning strike from Monday to Tuesday due to unresolved conditions of service.
We spoke about this, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, about the aviation industry saying, oh, they've been telling the government they've not paid their salaries. A government, for me, this government really has shown that they really don't care about anything. You can go on strike from now till tomorrow. It makes no difference. In the same aviation industry, the airlines want to shut down because the prices of aviation fuel has gone up. So we might as well just shut down that system first and foremost. In my opinion. Why?
Shut down aviation system.
If you don't, if systems don't,
What is the other alternative? A lot
Hold
of
on
people
one
now
second.
cannot even use the roads, the rails. The only,
so it goes to tell you where we are and in which direction we're heading.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll read your messages on the WhatsApp portal. Please keep sending them in. It's 0809
98.1. Love music, love
Shut down
life.
the
See, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a story. Yeah, aren't you? Yeah, UK citizen, aren't you? Okay. Do you know that the power sector in the UK was shut down for a year in 1979 when Margaret Thatcher became what's called? And what did it lead to?
Lots of stuff was shut down when Margaret Thatcher was
But no. But the power system in the UK. Do you know that they used to have what's it called? What do you call it? What you say NEPA take light in the UK? Things must grind to a halt for you to make a change because you can't continue the same
So in
system.
that, if that's what you're putting forward, then that means that everything would have to grind to a halt. I'm talking
We're back.
aviation. I'm talking electricity.
Yes, then people will start to.
And welcome back. We're getting straight into your messages on the WhatsApp portal. This is from Ken. It says, did GEJ fly a kite with that stunt yesterday to me? He only denied the form. He hasn't denied that he's not running and running under the APC.
We've got this one in. Yinka Bolu says, do we know what he wants to discuss with the APC chairman? No. So these news agencies should just calm down. Why would he even run when he doesn't want to be unfortunate? And Ozzy has this one. Jonathan is not joining APC. The party asked him to join, period. I doubt he went cap in hand begging. She goes on to say that, well, the APC is looking to hold on to power by any means necessary. And in Nigerian politics, there is no enemy and definitely no integrity.
And this one comes in from Ike Peter. It says, so why do you think voter card and not shutting down political activities will work, Wade? And
Don't worry, Wadi, after that.
Fabian sends a message as well. All right. Fabian sends in, he says that the government's response to the ASUU strike is indeed unfortunate. It says a lot about how the present administration has fared regarding the education sector and the students' plight. Everyone should think deeply before voting.
Whilst D from Alausa says, oh, well done, Justin. I'm impressed today. And James says, well, Shoko, nothing has changed. They're recycled and come back worse than their initial states. Well, it was a question, people. Thank you for sending your answers in.
Cisco Delgado sends in this one. Says the solution to ASUU, NASU, SANU is very simple. This striking action is becoming unbearable. Thank God for Google Brain because there's no need for going to school with such. Okay. Very soon, Nigeria as a nation will go on strike if everyone else, like the aviation industry, will also embark on strike.
Yes, off air, Wadi had some very extreme views about this, and I said, if that's the action you want to take,
then we'll restart.
Then
the stunt
everything would go down.
Yes, and then the system will restart itself, and you will be forced to contribute to ensuring that you get a better system.
Please, are we living in virtual reality?
Exactly. Why do you live in Nigeria like us?
Okay.
Even if we had to shut down
if I you'll be amazed.
They would leave the country.
How many people can leave the country? 200 million people. To where?
Well, the people who can afford it will leave.
People, we're now talking hypothetically here, and it's starting to turn into a dystopia. Let's take a look at the next story, shall we? Please. Okay, so taking a look at this article, it comes in from the Guardian newspaper. Buhari tasks World Bank and AFDB and others to activate $19 billion fund. This is for the Pan-African Great Green Wall Agency, which is going to be used for land restoration, tree planting, development of climate resilience infrastructure, and so on. The list goes on. But this is supposed to be going on across 22 African countries. Justin, what do you say to what the president has said?
Well, just to flesh out the story, so the Pan African Great Green Wall Initiative is being driven by One Planet Summit, or the Pan African Great Green Wall Agency is being driven by the One Planet Summit, which is a um, climate focused initiative. Yes, basically it's about battling climate change. So there was a meeting in Paris, and they had pledged a $19 billion fund, basically to address the effects of climate change in the Sahel region. So you have about 11 countries, the 11 Sahel African countries, right, that are suffering desertification and all of that, are supposed to benefit from this fund. Last year, President Buhari was appointed the head of the PAGGW, and so at this meeting, he's basically going through the talking point and urging them to bring the money, we need the money. But Aisha, what's the lady's name at the UN? The Nigerian lady at the UN, sorry. Aisha Mohammed was also at this meeting, and I'd just like to focus on what she said. And she said that this program should be integrated into national plans and not be treated as a add-on. And that's one thing that African countries have not done very well with, i.e., put climate change focused action. Shopper is running from a mosquito.
Thank you. Moving on, we stay focused.
So, so these 11 African countries stand to benefit from this fund. The idea is that they should bake it into national plans. I do not know and that doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but I do not know that we have a very explicit climate change response plan, apart from the SDGs and all of that are global initiatives here in Nigeria. I don't know, because when I think about the fact that, for instance, we increase tariffs on solar panels, right? Which is supposed to be something that will reduce
encouraging grazing.
Yeah, when I think about the things we do, I don't know, but money is always good. So the president said they should bring the money.
So they should bring it.
All right, gentlemen, let's look at this story in from Premium Times. 2022 WASSCE. Sokoto Zamfara presents no candidates over debt and other reasons. Now, students of public secondary schools of Sokoto and Zamfara will not be taking part in this year's May-June West African Senior School Certificate Examination. Head of Nigeria's Office of the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, Patrick Aragon, who disclosed these on Monday, however, did not state reasons for the exemption. But the news source gathered that, the examination body refused to accept candidates from Zamfara State over an accumulated debt owed over the years. It goes on and on. And Wade, can you beat that in a country like Nigeria, two states, Sokoto and Zamfara, no students from public secondary schools will sit in for WAEC exams?
Okay, so
who are the governors first? What are their names, and which of them is running for president? Let's start from there.
I don't know.
I'm
lost. So that we know where we are really heading, Abby. Okay, so quick one for Zamfara. They have some excuses, and the excuse is insecurity, ability.
Insecurity? And in public schools, no single student
Let me
writes the exams.
finish.
Well, go ahead.
You say I should comment. Let me come. If the level of insecurity that they're working with WAEC to ensure that they can submit, I guess they didn't submit their list on time, and they're working with WAEC to resolve that. Usually what happens with this kind of things is the WAEC will let the children write the exams, and then they will withhold it. For Sokoto State says they've made a clear decision.
Tambuwal.
Tambuwal. He's running for president.
The other one is Zulum.
Both of them, I think both of them have collected. Some people have bought forms for them. For Sokoto State, they said they made a state decision that what's it called? The students from Sokoto State are not going to write WAEC, but they will write the NECO and the MBET. It's a decision, but NECO too is an accredited certification exam in Nigeria. So either you can write the WAEC or you can write the NECO, or you can write both. So if you have NECO, you can still use it to go into university. and go anywhere. So that really is
This is really painful.
no,
After
no.
6 years in secondary school, you cannot write these particular exams because,
Bold of you to assume that they were actually in secondary school for the 6 years.
I mean, they don't have ASUU strikes in secondary school.
You'll
But,
be, but
I
you'll
mean,
be amazed that
There were people actually going to school for 6 years.
anyway. But like I said, no, but you have that option. Really, you do have the option of writing NECO because Nigeria has NECO to write. But the question is the standards.
Why they?
Anyway.
Let's give this thing.
All right,
a name. This is
quickly.
Abysmal failure of governance in those two states. Let's
I-
call it what it is.
Call it spade.
Those gentlemen should hide their heads in shame.
But they are going to run for election for presidency and
Gentlemen,
Government is
let's
definitely
just look at
confident of
messages.
victory. But we've got your WhatsApp and your Twitter messages, and we'll go over to YouTube as well. On Twitter, official official _OGB says, I'm always disturbed whenever we're talking about the ASUU strike and we narrow it down to Ngige and Wajiba. Where's the substantive minister for education, Adamu, in all of this? Well, he's begged for forgiveness.
he has apologized and begged for forgiveness.
There you go. Do remember you can also leave your comments up on the live stream on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. We're going to take it over to WhatsApp now, and quite a number of messages coming in. Ibrahim saying, did someone just say we should shut down the system while discussing the aviation strike? Not good enough. Shutting down is not the solution to everything.
Victor Shone says we should not overrate the benefits of getting, voters and voting. Voting is not a magic wand to Nigeria's problems.
More messages coming in. This time from Femi from Shomolu, saying, Tuwade, who opined that the airport should maybe be shut down, has hit the nail on the head. The country is in a shutdown mode, but we are still patting our challenges. I'm not sure what that means, but okay. And Tessa says, Jonathan should just leave the dignity that he has accumulated intact.
All right, Fred from Dolphin sends this one. It says, I think the best thing that will work is total shutdown of the system. Why are we calling for a shutdown
Okay,
this morning?
people, I love how you seem to think, they're shutting down and never coming back up and then shutting down and rebooting. You don't want to shut down, but we continue. PJ says, I support 100% the plan of the students to sit in and disrupt the primaries in Abuja. There is nowhere in the world that freedom is given. People must fight for it, and this must be done creatively. The students should identify, Ngige's house and go sit down there. All right.
This one in says that Governor of Zamfara recently bought cars for traditional rulers, but no money for WAEC. Interesting. That's from Dami, by the way.
So many of your messages coming in across the platform up on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. Joy says, with all due respect to our forefathers, we have no business being together. Well, Nigeria is a country, take it or leave it, Joy. And Chook says, I'm just here wondering who the advisors of Jonathan are. No one is talking about him contesting, but the foundation is already a problem. Whilst Joy says, nobody in Nigeria resigns, even a state chairman do not resign. And Kane Adijuma says, if everyone gets a PVC and you have no candidate to vote for, what is the use of the PVC?
He says that PVC does not change anything because we're voting for the same set of people. And Biola comes in, if you believe the new president will not solve the issue, then why advocating for PVC collection? Nance should go ahead and disrupt activities in the airports, federal roads, and party primaries. We need to go now. Thank you very much, gentlemen, Justin and Uade, for being a part of the show today. Let's keep the conversation going on Twitter. All right, it's at Justin
EJ.
Thank you, Justin EJ on Twitter, and
_.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, thank you for joining us.
I think I need to take a break from Freshly Pressed.
Why? Didn't you enjoy it?
Has done to our analysts.
Did you enjoy it?
No, it's not that we don't enjoy it.